Hello. So new episode of Ballmer's Peak. We get this set up here. All right, I think it looks good. All right, so today I was a little upset when I was checking my email and I got this notification from Interactive Brokers. And you know what a lot of companies do is they have a terms of service. They send it to you and they say they can update it any other time. And then periodically you'll get a notice like this. Dear client, you're receiving this notice of amendment. View the new terms of service. If you continue using our service after this date, you consent. And that's pretty standard in the industry of, anything with a website that has a terms of service. And really it kind of sucks because, are you going to read this terms of service? Hell, I even tried to. And when I went to it, it told me all of these sections were edited. So I'll go a little bit slower here. I've already looked at this, but take a peek at this. So page 3 has been changed, 5B has been changed, 6 has been changed, etc., etc. And, that's great. Thanks for telling me what changed. Will you show me a document where it tells me what you actually changed, what was there before, what was there after? Of course not. Here's the new document. This giant PDF. Where are the amendments? Not in there. So, you as a user, what are you going to do? Are you going to actually read this, go back and forth between every single reference, compare, what are my margin rights? Will you just randomly say, for those of you who don't know, like, if you're about to get margin called, will they liquidate your funds immediately? That's when you're sort of borrowing money. Some places will call you and say, hey, you need to give us more money, otherwise we're going to liquidate your positions. Interactive brokers will just do it anyways. And they do it kind of restrictive. It happened to me once before where they needed me to pay them $3 and they sold $4,000 worth of stuff. Thankfully, it wasn't a big deal, but still pretty annoying. And all these little things are probably in light of the GameStop saga and a lot of other things. And, this is really not something you're actually consenting to. Like, you are, but you don't know what they're saying. You're not an attorney again. And the way they present this information to you is not easy to read. So in this episode of Ballmer's Peak, I'm already 1 drink deep, and I've made this dill-infused vodka that honestly is really good. It's kind of sweet, and I take flowers from dill I've been growing, and just infuse it for about a day with some vodka, and pour that into a drink, and it's really great. So let's start off here. And yeah, for this episode, we're going to just go over how to read a PDF using Python, and then some discussion about what you could do to make this experience a little bit easier. Say you wanted to compare two documents. It's not, it's nothing crazy. There's a standard word way of showing changes in a document. If you ever negotiated a contract, you'll sort of see, hopefully someone gives you a contract, you say edit this, and it'll show you all the history of revisions. Let me see if I can pull up an example here. Word track revisions. Let me just see if I can pull up a picture. So here you go. You see they cross out the information. You can see 68 revisions were to a part. It's very simple. It's actually made so you can understand it. But what Interactive Brokers is doing, and a lot of other companies are doing, is they are giving you terms, and it's sort of like informed consent. That's sort of the principle. And I'll put a link to that, where you're not actually capable of understanding what they're telling you and you don't have enough time, you're not an attorney. So by using it, you're just sort of saying, okay, here's what it is, I consent because I don't know any better. And there's really no negotiation happening. There's no, people are not too often saying like, well, they changed the liability section here and paragraph here, this sentence, so I want to use Schwab instead of Interactive Brokers. None of that is really able to happen because the information is so locked up and it's just too inefficient for every single person to figure out what the deal is. There's also websites that make this a little bit easier. There's one called TOSDR, and it's been around for a while. It's kind of interesting. Now, I didn't see that they have any annotation stuff in there where you can sort of see revisions. But for now, this is just sort of an impetus for me to show you how to do PDF parsing in Python. So back to this actually loaded. Cox sucks. If you're in the Southwest or Atlanta, Georgia, where they're headquartered, you're sort of stuck with them, but yeah, they mess up my internet every afternoon just for fun. It's been a few months now. Anyways, my grapes aside, This website will sort of rank terms of service, and there's people hired that will look through and sort of standardize what's up with their terms of service. I guess while we're at it, I'll look at Interactive Brokers, see if they have it. Let me just get an extension real quick. I'm on Edge these days. I might actually create my own browser, but that's a discussion for another time. Anyways, terms of service. Okay. IBKR info isn't the main site. So if I go to interactivebrokers.com, it should tell me if it's been reviewed right here. And it looks like they didn't read the terms of service. Couple of sides here. Let's look. E, that's like E for evil or something. It's not. It's definitely not a good one. Loading. Huh. Interesting. I guess on Edge it doesn't work as well, but you know, this website will actually show you terms of service. I won't go too much into that. Again, the main point of this video is for me to show you some PDFs, and I'm a little bit inebriated at the moment, enjoying my dill flavored vodka. All right, so let's start the hike to Ballmer's Peak. Import request. So what I'm going to do here is, you know, I showed you here's the listing of what was changed, and here's a PDF. I should be able to take this URL that was linked to in this sort of amendment. I don't know what a form 3203 is, but I'm sure I agreed to it at some point. Anyways, back onto this form DB. So I should be able to pull a PDF, and then I can use some utilities I'll share with you to take this data and turn it into sort of more structured text, or even hierarchical format of like paragraphs, lines, and words. Okay, this is our URL. Quest.get URL. Hope we get a 200. Yes. Rack. I need to figure out how to read files in this. Let's see what it does if I do text. That's a lot of stuff. That's a good thing. All right, cool. We got a PDF right there. Exciting. So normally I use this library called Popular. It's pretty old. I'll probably use that here, but I'm just going to embark on a quest on extracting text from PDFs real quick as if I was a noob, and see if there's anything new out there. It's kind of good to make sure you're not in a rut too much once in a while. Anyways, where are we? Extract text from PDF. Let's add our magical word, Python. 2020, what are we using? All right, I have used this library before. It's fine. Let's give it a whirl. The other one is sort of like the C library. You got to compile and stuff. There's this thing called Chocolatey that works. You'll see a failed attempt to install Popular right there. Let me just see if it's on here. Oh, never mind. I do have it. Nah, I don't want to mess with it today. Let's go with the new route. So I'm going to use PyPDF2. Sort of a manipulation library in Python. It appears to have extract text capability, so we'll just sort of start with that. Do they have a pip install? Yes. All right, so that should be set up. Now I've got this again. Let's see if this will work. Import PyPDF2. Now you almost know it's not going to be a good Python library when they don't follow Python standard syntax. A lot of APIs, especially those made by like AWS, just don't care at all about Python standardization with capitalization, and that's sort of a good signal that these people aren't Python developers originally, but it's their sort of cool thing to do. And they created a library, so thank them for that, but don't expect the most Pythonic or standard of an interface when using it. Anyways, back to this. Let's actually load the thing without me insulting everyone who ever created an app. I haven't done much myself, so it's a bit hypocritical. I sit from a good post over here. Anyways, request that text. Let me go content. Okay, good. So I'm looking for file bytes because if you look at this example here, they opened a file, RB means read bytes. And if I sort of put it in as bytes, you know, no one cares that this is a file versus just straight bytes. I mean, one caveat, I need to put this in a what's called an IO, like bytes. What is it called? Bytes buffer or something in Python. So I'll do that real quick too. Just something that implements the read interface. So like file.read, that's how Python reads files. Anyways, import io.bytes io. Put in rec.content. And if I do read, there you go. So that's kind of what it expects. You're somewhat new to programming. It's nice to work with things that sort of follow interfaces. A standard way of accessing things. It's all like one big black box. Do this on this, get this output. Don't care about the internals. Good if you're trying to test out, let's say, a bunch of different APIs that do similar things, but have different ways about going about it. Anyways, I'll just call this file buff. Now, and as I was insulting Python people, or the PyPDF people, kind of rude me anyways, for some reason, a lot of standard Python things, especially like their file manipulation stuff, you can look at their docs and they don't even follow Pythonic ways of naming things and accessing things. It's kind of weird. Anyways, this guy also doesn't really seem to like Python. He likes its camel case. Fine way to do it. Just keep it consistent throughout your project. All right. Let's go look at this again. Num pages. Excited about that. Feel like that? Yep. So it's camel case. At least they're consistent. Hell, maybe I should just adopt it all the way. I don't know. I'm sort of clashing with them here. Okay. PDF meter. Let's see if extract text works. Nope. What is it? Extract text camel case on a page object. So I'm just going to start off and get every single page. Page, is it 0 index? No. Get page. Oh boy. There's some good output actually. Normally I work with stuff a little more transformed than this. Okay. Extract. What we got? Page 1. All right, cool. So let's get every single page real quick. For I in range 0, PDF reader dot pages page. How do I want to do this? I'll make it a dictionary for now. Page sub I. So I don't know why it's 0 index. It's pretty annoying. So we're going to fix that. Sub I. I'll make a dictionary here. Oh, pages. Okay. Page number I. All right. Page. Whoa, that's wild. Never seen it like that. Interesting. Anyways, let's go pages sub 1. All right. Looks right. 2. 2 looks right. Algorithmic trading. So I'm going to start comparing this to the actual document because it looks, it doesn't feel right. But let's see here. This agreement governs. Let me create another variable, all text. And I'll just make this one big thing I can search through. Because I'm trying to sort of validate that what I'm getting is from the PDF and there's no like weirdness happening. Because a lot of weirdness happens with PDFs. It is a magical format though. Thank you, Adobe. Also, I hate you. Pages, 5+1. Let's look at a break in there, actually. I'm going to call it a -p page. All text, index. So this is just going to show me the index, if it exists, otherwise it'll be -1. Or it might be not. Anyways, of a specific spot. So I'm looking for notice requirement, an amendment of terms. And actually, I was kind of griping about margin. So let's look at margin. Oh, geez. 15 BIII. All right, so we're going to search on this text. Adobe, or Edge's, there we go. Edge's PDF reader kind of sucks. I think Firefox does a much better job. Okay, substring not found. Uh-oh. See if it's a space issue. It is. I have done this a few times before, if you believe me. Let's go out 2542. Okay, this looks right. It lost all spaces. Kind of annoying, but yeah, I really recommend dill flavored vodka. It's so refreshing. I live in Vegas now, and it's hot and dry, but this cools you down really quick. Risk of margin trading. Client understands. Okay. So I'm gonna. Yeah, so this is sort of an exercise just to get you started with PDF processing. There are better ways to do things, but this will kind of be the easiest way to get started. A lot of people have issues installing things like Poplar, and it gets slightly complicated. I'm just going to look at page 6. Again, you'll notice all the spaces are messed up. What I'm going to do now is just sort of write a little algorithm to find a section. So if I do like number dot margin colon, I know that's a section. I could probably write a utility real quick, regex based, to find every single section because they most likely follow this pattern. And then from that, I can pull out a relevant section, like 3 here. So I'm just going to write a little bit more code to do that. It's kind of a quick episode because what I really need to do is find their old terms of service and then write a diff algorithm. Let me see if I can pull up something. I'm going to go over here, a little sneaky sneak, and then just show you one of my libraries and show you what GitHub's looks like. See this would be amazing. In this video, that's quite a lot of work to figure out how to replicate this. There might be a package out there. I'll probably do some digging after I publish this to figure that out. But this is kind of what we'd want to go for. So if we could sort of find sections, assume that the names of the sections are roughly the same. That's what it kind of looks like here. So here's margin 15B. I do mutual funds colon, that should show up with something. Yeah. So maybe write a quicker like document differencing algorithm because the trickiest part is finding like the alignment of things. Maybe there's like a, if you have like 2 words and they're so far apart, is this edited or is it a totally different sentence that got inserted? There might be some good libraries. I'm not sure. I haven't worked with them in the past. But for now, we'll just sort of assume section names stay the same. And then within a section, I can write a difference algorithm. Okay. 15.margin colon A dot. A dot. That's the Arizona Department of Transportation. Also, a nice alias for you. Okay. Margin. Yeah, so I'm going to find the sections. A little comment for myself. Divide sections by header colon. So you'll notice I just abandoned the pages. People who read things don't care about pages. See, this got cut off. It's not like someone's over there making sure every page perfectly ends all the time. So for the purpose of our programming, we shouldn't care about them either. All that matters about the original, the creators. Anyways, for what should I do here? So I could go on table of contents, but really I'm just going to try a little regex here. I think that's how you say that one. What I like to do with regex is sort of dummy things out first, see if they work, and then apply them, see how that works. And there's lots of conventions you can use. I like being a little bit more verbose. 0 to 9 means 0 to 9. You could also write that as a D for digit, but I like this sort of way. And I'm going to do a period. If I forget if something is a wildcard or not, or a special character, I just always do that backslash. It's like a reserved character. And the pattern we're looking for is like a numbered dot, word, including spaces, followed by a colon. That will denote a section. For my quick look at this PDF, again, here's 16 dot, some text, and a colon. I could even say like capital case, assuming things, but I would need some little dictionary to figure out, oh, it shouldn't be capital, so I'm not gonna deal with that. So we got number. Let's make it multiple digit number. Plus sign means one or more. Word. Here I go using backslashes actually. Let's call it word S. You know what? Let's do W. So there's not going to be two spaces. We notice the library doesn't split out spaces, right, when I did extract text. So I'm just going to ignore that. And then I'll do another block here with this or a space. Space should just be a space, I believe. I may also need apostrophes, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Like special characters that could be in the text. But here we go. Space. I don't know what the deal is with space, so I backslashed it. One or more. And then we know it should end with a colon. And I'm going to pass in this text, see if it found it. Alright. Alright, cool. So we found margin. So we know our thing roughly works as I expect it to. Now I'm going to put this in on all text. And hopefully it's going to find all the... Yeah. Cool. So these are all the sections. The sort is really dumb. Stupid computers not knowing alphanumeric sorts. But all right, so I'm going to take a peek. And hell, is this actually the amended section? No. So you'll notice I'm not seeing a 2 dot in here. I'm going to do a quick check. Oh, jeez. Let's get rid of that. 2 dot, 12, 12, nope. So I'm not seeing 2 dots. So we need to take a peek at what is happening with that section, fix our algorithm. PDF, 2 dot, no advice. Okay, see, it's got special characters. So I'm going to just do a wildcard. Normally I wouldn't do such a thing. It's preposterous, but semicolon is a pretty safe ending, so I feel somewhat confident about doing a wildcard. Oh, jeez. Ooh. Let's try this again. Regex wildcard. In the spirit of wildcards, too, I need to change my song. Oh, shit. I thought, is it a band called Yellow? Dang. Yellow card. Yeah, alright, well, I was close. Some, I don't know if this is cringeworthy per se, but here you go. Let's see, is this playing? Yes. So sitting so low in the chair. Wow. I'm going to play Lowrider after this. Not kidding. Lowrider. I think War is the band. Let's see that. All right. Regex wildcard. Where were we? Python. Magic word. Oof. Nice semantic search, Google. I meant that seriously. Yeah, I want to do, I guess one or more will work. I can never figure that out. I don't know why. Oh. Nope. Thought that would have worked. Geyser. Too greedy. What? It's not a good sign. I don't know what's happening. As regex goes, yeah. Wait. So why did? So if you'll see here, that worked really well, but I got wild, huh? It's very interesting. So I'm just going to pull it up in the text too, just to make sure I'm not having an issue. My quick judgment when I looked at this PDF was, oh, there's a colon or a comma, so that must be the issue. And I'm going to put up no advice. Oh, by the way, companies and people lie all the time in terms of service. So if you have an issue or a question, you think you have no case or something, talk to an actual attorney that specializes in it, because they may hook you up. Or hook you up. Happened to me once in Chicago, actually. Alright, no advice, count type. So I'm going to try this string. I know this one didn't work before. Especially if you're a renter, there's a lot of favorable laws for you. In general, not always, but it's always worth talking to an actual attorney. Okay, so I'm trying to match on this string. I got words. I got what I thought was a wildcard. Comma didn't do it. Wow. Space, comma? No? Huh. Man. So let me go to no advice. No. Yeah, this is the song. Low rider. Let's change this to a space. Alright, that looks right. And I'm going to do a different sort of coding style. You generally don't see this, you shouldn't see it in, more programs like a PY file. But with notebooks, it doesn't really matter. This command is super fast, so, leave it in there. If I want to switch what I'm doing to compare back instead of copying and pasting too much, I'm going to write things a little bit faster. Alright, here we are. So where is 3 dot? My homeboy, 3 dot. Ends with a period. Well, we're gonna make that an option. All right, where's 4? Oh my goodness. So I could have been a little bit more general here, but I decided to sort of do like a bottom-up way of parsing. Other times you can try to be overdoing it. I don't know if my way's better or not. It's just sort of what I've been doing. Haven't really put much thought into it. All right, this is looking juicy. 10. Where is 10? All right, 10, you're on my list. The writer kind of gets repetitive. So I'm going to switch to Hall and Oates. Good old dash. One of the advantages of this document is everything is numbered. Thank Interactive Brokers for that. Can't gripe too much there. So it's pretty easy for a human, me, to look through this and be like, oh shit, there's no 31. There is also no 11. So let's figure it out. Thankfully 9 was there and I didn't have to make a terrible 9/11 joke. Okay. Anyways, wow. No colon. It's not great. Well, this is unfortunate. Spent a few minutes here with an approach, and we probably should abandon it. That is quite the random edge case. Why? I don't know if you call it an edge, but it's not great. So the way I normally handle PDFs is a lot nicer. Let me see if I can show you an example here. Let's see here. So you'll notice we're trying to find, where's this PDF? Sections. And if you pay attention to the PDF, you start realizing like it's structured, because it is a structured document. These numbers are all super left aligned. And possibly the spacing would give information away. If something started with a number and there's a big space, that's another way I could attack this to parse this. So if I had some output, Poplar will do this for you. it will sort of try to automatically group things in what's called blocks. If you use Microsoft OCR, it'll do the same thing. And even AWS, other ones, it's pretty standard type of output for pages like this one. And what I would try to do is sort of draw a line on every page where the 1 should be. If I find a 1 and, for some reason the underlying information was lost. Now let me copy this. Whoa, that's interesting. Why can't I copy? I wonder if that's I love to point the finger at things, but what are we doing here? Yeah, okay. I always get scared showing things, but this looks okay. Won't risk it though. IBKR is what I'll save it as. Open file. We're back. Yeah. Looking through my things here. Nothing incriminating. No porn or anything. I'm all good. Don't watch porn if you can help it. It's generally not good. Anyways, back to this. Why couldn't I copy that? Huh. Am I just not Control-Cing right today? Right click. Don't tell me. Oh man. I wonder if this would stand up to a lawsuit, honestly, because if there's ways to stop copying, and they did it, those fuckers. Wow. That's outrageous. So they created a terms of service you can't even copy. Wow, fuck these guys. I mean, oh man, I'm like drunk enough to like stupidly tweet them and say, fuck you guys for not letting me copy and paste your terms of service, but it seems a little petty. I guess I'll just publish it in its entirety and leave it at that. Fuck them. Just weird. Like, there's actually like some dickhead attorney on the other side of this saying content copying, not allowed. You want to copy and paste? That would let you actually figure out what you're trying to do here, and we don't want that. We don't have to do that. No one cares enough, so we're not going to do it. And I mean, you can't really. I mean, I guess you can hate him, but it's just sort of the nature of the beast. And the way business is set up is that's just how it is. Let's go with some Trippier Kid Cudi. Wow, I'm just shocked by that. That is. I mean, to me, that's egregious. I would love to be like a paid expert on PDFs one day and be like, they never wanted anyone to actually compare this and work with this because they took active steps not to let you do that. And to me, that's compelling. I don't know case law on that, but wow, that's absurd. Jesus, I'm still shocked by this. So let me, God, I was trying to pull up number 11. Oh, sorry, I gotta see something here actually. Too many asides. I hope these videos will be fun for everyone who watches, but it's sort of an experiment for me. Maybe I shouldn't get drunk and post them, but hell. So I was just hoping this was Preparation H, an old joke from an Austin Powers movie. But no, it turns out the 7th letter is an H. Anyways, I got the PDF pulled up here. I could, of course, just create a new PDF from their PDF, but yeah. God, and I keep trying to copy. 11.client qualification, no colon. Trying to see how much farther I want to take this. Client qualification. Okay, that's the index. I like calling my index is IDX. And then if I go all text of IDX, and I do a slice, IDX plus 100, that'll show me sort of where I'm at. So yeah, that definitely looks like the section. And let's see here. So I'm assuming these are roughly unique text matches. I think there is a way to return the index of where in the string regex match something. I don't feel like looking that up right now. It doesn't feel too needed, but it is a good thing. But I feel pretty safe in thinking all the matches here are unique. What I'm going to do next is just sort of create like a config JSON that'll have the text, the index of that text, and then I can just fill in, it's not a huge deal, where 2 is and where the other ones I missed are, since I did want to get all the sections for this exercise. And I guess I'll do a little bit of text differencing. By differencing, I mean, what GitHub does, I was about to say so great. I mean, there's probably been a ton of thought into this, but, you'll see here 2 lines were changed. The only difference is a space. I think this is a pretty decent way of visualizing it. It just uses a little bit more space than you need to sort of show a change on a 1-letter basis. But, it is clear, it is extensible, especially if there are more changes on lines. Maybe they're not doing character-based sort of substitutions for your line-based. I don't know, I'm just sort of speculating right now. But, yeah, no, I've generally been pretty happy with what GitHub does. It's not perfect, but it's, pretty nice. And I think it was just like a weekend project by the guy who founded Linux, too. Again, another aside, Git history. Sit up in this chair here. No, geez, I'm not looking for that. I'm looking for the actual history of Git. All right, PO6, Linus Torvald. This guy is a hero. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. He's anyways. Grandson of a statistician. Scuba dive logging. What? I have never heard of this. Subservice. Logging and planning suit. Wow. This man. I mean, get a poster, put him on your wall. Just an epic person. I didn't realize he was so husky, if you will. But, he looks good. He's good. Just sort of, I don't know what I expected. I guess I expected some sort of guy who didn't eat anything because he just was like always programming and doing stuff. But, he looks, I don't know. He looks good. Anyways, let's work with myself here. Definitely a freaking savant is a lot for programmers everywhere. Okay, where was I? He created Git. Who created Git? And again, I hope these videos are sort of like a hangout with a guy who kind of codes. Maybe can teach you some things. Maybe you guys can teach me some things too. But I'm just sort of doing things I'm passionate about, showing examples that hopefully you can reproduce and inspire you to do your own projects. And then the Little List of Programmer Culture of Ballmer's Peak is a good one. Yeah, I'm gonna let the ice melt. But trust me, dill flavored vodka. It's worth getting a pot and some seeds. I mean, I've got a whole garden, but it's really good. I might try to sell it. Where the hell am I? 10 years of Git creator. There we are. Okay, I guess it wasn't just 2 weeks. I thought it was 2 weeks. Another interesting aside, favorite word, I get into any tangents. Schrodinger? This equation. I believe Schrodinger, the one who made like the funky, weird imaginary number differential equation on quantum physics, I believe he came up with it on a weekend or a month when his wife was skiing or something. I gotta fact check myself here because it feels a little ridiculous, but we kind of forget that people who do great things are at the end of the day just people. So possibly could do good things. Again, I don't want to set the example that everyone is great because everyone can't be great in a way. It's kind of grim, but we only see the people who were great, not all the failures. So it really makes it hard to know if you're good, if you're not, and but it doesn't matter. Life's of what you make it, and just be happy. Skiing. Let me see. Why vacations are essential for physics. So I could be full of shit here. I'll put an edit in the video for people who just don't care about all these silly asides, but maybe someone out there likes it. Ski. No? Schrodinger vacation? I heard this from one of my professors way back in the day. Schrodinger vacation. This is probably... Is this it? His summer vacation? I thought it was skiing. Here we go. Spectral lines, Sommerfeld. Oh, man. Personal felt. Oh, summer. Hay fever. And you know how, what is it? Antibiotics were created. It was a guy who left a mess in his house, and one day he tested the thing he left a mess of, and it was antibiotics. So, you know, doing things creates things naturally. Just keep doing things and things will come. Frick. I love talking about random things. But I hate podcasts, but I'm afraid I'll become one day. De Broglie. There it is, ski trip. Oh, thank God. After months of frustration, in December 1925, he put aside his work and went off on a remote... Yes, I'm not full of shit. Philanderer. Man, I think that's my goal in life, but I forget what it is called. Oh, never mind. I'm married. I've never been about that life. I'm thinking about whatever the fuck Talib calls himself, a philanderer. That's the one. Yeah. I don't want to be a philanderer, or whatever the fuck that was. That's it. I want to be an idler. There you go. An idler who's always doing things in a way. Anyways, back to what the heck we were doing here. I got strings. Oof. And 4 match in-text matches. So again, back to this. Just going to create a quick dictionary where I have the section name and where it is. I'll print this out, make a new one as a config object, and just hard code the ones I couldn't get because I didn't follow the pattern. Wait, what? There is a... What? Sorry. Oh, not 2. It was 11 we had an issue with. Client quals, yeah. Okay. Text matches. How do I want to do this? I don't even feel like naming it. D for dict. D sub match equals text matches index. And I could write some code here. It would be prudent to say, hey, check that there's not more than one match. If there is, flag it so I can take a peek at it. I'm just getting this done real quick. Again, this is sort of breadcrumbs. It's not ever supposed to be the end-all be-all. I'm just a guy who's searching for Ballmer's peak and creating some code. B. Oh, shit. What did I do? Index. Oh, that's funny. So I did a list match where I wanted, or list index. I wanted to do alt text. There we go. As a quality check, I could just see, you know, is this fancy word monotonic? That means it has like one tonic, one way of existing, monotonically increasing. Again, fancy math for you. So that just means every number of the next one is greater than the previous. That's a pretty decent sanity check here. Going through, wiggle in, wiggle in. Remember when I first found out about justifying text? That was a decent day. I still don't quite understand it. It looks funky sometimes. Anywho, here we are. What? Client acknowledges that. What's going on with client acknowledgement? Hey, commodities are kind of the Wild West, not inclusive of Bitcoin. All right, I think we're mostly there. This was just sort of like a bonus section. Sadly, it might mess up my previous 5. I think I'll just create a rule that says if thing found before, don't allow overwriting it as I number these sections. And again, I'm numbering them because they number in here. So I think just to end this sort of segment, I'll write the 8C. Man. parsing subsections. It's kind of the same stuff. I think I've shown enough here. Yeah, I'll sort of conclude with some closing goodness, but all right. I'll show you my little notebook sort of style doing things. Again, this is sort of weird programming because you wouldn't write this without iterating like I'm doing here. You need to see it. You need to look at it. Human in the loop. A great way of doing things. And then make tweaks. So let's see here. Yeah, 190.46 was a fun one. Complaints. How do I complain? Nah, I'll stop. Too many tangents already. You can look how to complain later. And I'll save this PDF I worked on, just, you know, perpetuity. Another great word. So anyone who wants to can play with it. 46, I'm going to figure out what that is and just hard code it. Consent. See, that's my magic word. Informed consent. Read about it. Hate it. That's how the world works. Maybe try to fight it, but you're going to be one person out of a gazillion, so good luck as well. Maybe the ACLU or a new organization with similar intent could be a good way to go about it. Back to this. Consent to accept electronic records, and can't copy and paste because those Schweisters. Schweisters? I don't know. Consent to accept. So I guess I can remember how to say that. It's a pretty boilerplate sentence. LGBT3 probably knows how to say it. Consent to accept. I don't want it there. Alt. I'm gonna split actually. It's sort of a easier way to. I'm gonna do a split. So one. Oh shit. Well, that's good. There's only one split. Okay. And now I can copy and paste. Again, fuck you, interactive brokers and your lawyers. There's just no reason to make your PDF not copy and pasteable, but they decided to do it. Last aside, I swear, EDGAR. EDGAR is the best person in the world because he's not a person and he can't be imperfect. But companies are required to file forms if they're publicly listed or other sort of SE covered securities and things like that. And it's a very standard way of viewing information. 10K Tesla. God. So like every company has to put things in this format. You can also download it in other formats. This is the HTM, which is like HTML. But you can look up their, in this case, it's an annual report of a company. And again, they're following a specific form. So it's a gold mine for parsing things. And the company Morningstar essentially just does this, but they have enough data that they can sell finance people who have a lot of money data. And, you know, that's pretty much it. Woo! Go Nevada. Panasonic actually runs a lot of this too, allegedly, according to someone I met who works there. Anyways, back on the scheme of things, Elon Musk is good, but also terrible. Net good, though. Net good. Anyways, index. So I sort of checked back in the, you know, thing we're doing here. There weren't more than two. Oh, fuck. Do I have an extra space? Yes, I do. Edge. What are you talking about? My buddy Edgar. All right, 61945. So the index will always start at the beginning of the phrase. So that's sort of what's going to happen here. And then I'm going to put the full phrase in there with the colon. Yeah, cool. And then I'm just going to show you the section sort of printed out. We'll leave it at that for this video. Maybe next time or in a future video tutorial, maybe I won't be drunk because it's a harder problem. I will work on creating like a diffbot type of thing. Diffbot. I'm talking about diffbot. That's a company. Don't worry about that. Man, so many tangents, but so many cool things to talk about. 11. At least I think they're cool. 11. Client qualification. I have a tendency to say the second word first. I don't know if that's dyslexic or something else, but it's happening more and more. client qualification. That's section 11. Cool. All right, so this looks relatively standard. So I got all the sections on this whole PDF. How the heck do I want to do this? So I've got the dictionary. What I'm trying to debate now is, how I should split things out. Every section has this sort of header piece, which I can easily call up a name. And then all of this is the section. In a given section, there can be various subsections. The one that got me started on all this was section 15, margin 3. So this will be, a much smaller search space. Since like the section 15, once I split this out, I don't want to intake 16. So I'll split before that index. I need to know both spots when I iterate through this list of table of contents that I kind of have based on indexed strings. But I'm not going to do the subsections because that's pretty much the same thing. Honestly, a little bit simpler because who writes I dot? These are never sentences. And I think I know enough about Roman numerals that, M dot is like never going to be a sentence unless, actually, sorry, this is all lowercase, so you're pretty safe in this assumption I'm making. You would be kind of in trouble if it was like uppercase M. And these are all the little nuances that if you're trying to parse a PDF, there's rigorous ways of solving things, and then there's good enough, the physics way of doing things, not the mathematician way. And, just go for good enough, and if it works or if it doesn't work, you'll notice my way didn't really work, but I just printed out the config, and, frick, I forgot 37, but I'll add 37 if I need it. But, anyways. It's good enough. I made a few little tweaks. I've got most of the sections, and I got what I needed from this exercise. So, back to this. Let's just put this into a numbered list. I'm going to actually convert this to an integer so I can sort it properly. I haven't found a good alphanumeric sort before, but maybe it's out there. Anyways, for key and d.items. Not in the mood to name things at the moment. DSub, what the heck am I doing? The key at split 0, that should be a number. Sec num, and then sec start. So I'm going to be able to have the start, but I'm not going to have the end because I don't have the information about the next key, and dictionaries aren't ordered. But through this process, I'm going to create an ordered set through the secnum, since those are all numerics are going to be okay, and then I'll be able to find out what the next one is. Okay, sec start is value, and let's make this an int. The nice thing about making an int is if it's not an integer, it's going to complain. So if there's an issue in my code, I'll see it. And there's no issue. Except I forgot to put this in a list. Alright, sections, and I like doing multi-space things. Sometimes it helps as the list of key values grow. I'm just going to create simple rows here. Which is kind of funny. I switched from a dict to a list of dicts, but I'll take it. I guess I could have done this earlier, more upstream, but we're here now. Section number. I do generally like to use the same variable names as my column names. A little oversight here. Sec start IDX. Let's call this start IDX. And then I'm going to fill in the blank on an end EDX based on the other one. I think I'll use a funny, it's not funny, but a cool Pandas command to get a shifted version of things. In case you haven't seen that. There's no reason to name that. There we go. PD.dataframe section. Oh shit, PD is Pandas. Now, if you don't know VI, just learn it. It's pretty nice. It has these two modes that really helps you sort of do less. I'm not reaching for my mouse as I'm coding in here. I can create new sections. I can like ship and collect things. And this isn't quite VI, but it's like a modified VI. I don't even know what that stands for, but visual interface maybe. I don't know. But it's a thing on every server pretty much. VI. It's pretty handy. Pandas, sections, start IDX, cool. I'm gonna call it sections DF for data frames. Data frames, I think came from R. Thank you, R. I dislike R. Anyways, sections DF, here we are. I want to get the end IDX. And that's just going to be the sections DF sub start IDX. I believe it's just shift 1. Let's see. Gotta do a -1. So I could have like read the syntax, but this isn't chemistry. We're not doing 3-week experiments. Just do it, see what it does. If it doesn't work, switch it. It's fine. And Shift Tab will show you a little help text in Jupyter, which is nice if you actually need to read. In this case, I knew the search space of my errors was either 1 or -1, so what's the point? Anyways, here we go. So I got my start, I got my end. And let's fill in the blank on text. Text equals sections df sub text apply lambda. What do we got here? I'm going to be applying this on a row basis. So I'm going to say lambda row. Yeah, that sounds like a fraternity. All text, so start IDX through end IDX. Plus, you know what, I want to get the start IDX length, which will be the len of the k. Let's just pass in the text, that'll be easier. I'll call it header. Yeah. And I'll pass in k, and then in the row function, I'll just use row sub header, but the len of row sub header. So start IDX plus len sub row sub header. Let's see here. So I had an issue with one of the things I was using, start IDX, I believe. Oh, I need to do axis 1. So that, like, instead of doing it on a column basis, I do it on a row basis. And then I think there's an issue with the last one. So, how do I want to handle this? The issue is this guy here. I'll just make that last row, I'll hard code it. To the length of all text, since it should encompass everything. And that look -1 and x equals len all text. I think this works. I might have to look it up. Ah, shit. So I got the index wrong. I'll do it the real way instead of hard coding. Sections df.index of -1. Whoa. Yeah, section 5? What? I thought I got rid of that mother. D. Ah, I gotta go D equals. Cool. Love me some mandatory arbitration. Sorry, I have to read it. Pre-dispute. It's interesting you can waive your right to a trial by jury. I mean, business is business, but it's kind of interesting. No explanations. What about a court that doesn't explain their ruling? Wow. Exciting. Affiliated. Time limits. Wow. Frick. Yeah. So bow down to the corporate overlords. They can get a license to be in every country in the world. You can, I think, only choose 2. Maybe it depends on the country, but it's a lot easier for a company to set up in another country than for you to be a citizen. So they're going to have more power than you and control governments for years and years to come. Anywho, integers. So this is a float. As you can hopefully tell, I have done this a few times. The issue right now is the last column. Fill in A0. I'm just going to overwrite at the end. So what happened is this was a NAND. After I casted the shift, for whatever reason, shift makes things floats. It's kind of dumb, but it's because, or maybe I'm dumb because I don't know why, but NumPy NANDs, which are not a number, have to be a float type. They can't be an int type. And in this case, I fixed that issue by casting to int, but this last one still was a NAND, so I had to say, you know what, don't be a NAND, be a 0, and then I fixed it. It might be more prudent to do -1 because that's sort of obviously a bad value and it fits in the integer space, but lots of trade-offs. Anyways, let's see if we got it. Sections df. So cool, we got it. Love me some as-is acceptance. Fast and volatile markets, be ready, be prepared, shit your pants. And I wanted to just see the margin section because that's the one I hate the most. Sections df, sections df, section number equals 15. I could also do a string contains margin or something. I could have also parsed out the actual names of the headers, but this will suffice. I don't know. Text, and then if you do I love 0, it does the string better, or so I thought. There you go. And then, what do I want to do here? So obviously this isn't readable, but it's sort of the computer representation of a section. You can see my -p weird thing I put in there. And what I would do on a differencing algorithm is sort of take this, and then, let's call it alt margin. So I have sort of a pair thing. For every section, you know, once I find the new section, I compare the names in case they renumbered things. I would be able to say old margin to kill you. Why not? Kill your account positions in your house and nuke your family. It'll inform consent. Now, I guess maybe I can complete this exercise. Python, show difference between two strings. Don't tell me an integer. End if. They got me, those bastards. Oh, maybe not. Yeah, I don't. Can I do it on a word basis? So this looks like it's on a char basis, like a character. Difflib. Yeah. This E means errors too. It's pretty cool in regex when you allow fuzzy mashing. I like it a lot. No, FAA data is kind of cool, but that's what I clicked there by accident. Pretty print difference, 2 paragraphs, Python. How are we looking? Unified diff. All right, let's do unified diff. Hell, that could be what GitHub uses. I wonder if they're open source. So I got my terminal up, pip install difflib. Ah, shit. C difflib. Oh, somebody's grandfather caused that issue, I think. No, never mind. That's a bad joke. I meant, fuck, I'm an idiot. It's a Python library. I'm in Python version 2. Let's change that URL. Difflib, it's in there. Wow. Frick, never knew it was here. Import difflib. All right. Well, difflib. I'll just run this. Let me some unified diff. Do I have to split lines? I do. I have to strip and split lines. I won't do it. Frick it. Alt margin. Oh, frick. I keep saying frick. I never say frick. I feel weird swearing on this channel, but yeah. Some file. Yeah, man, this is on Python too. Oh man. Wow. That is certainly ineligible and illegible. We'll just print the line, see if that's cool. Wow. Good old Python not being Pythonic. That should be underscore. I rest my case. I guess I'll split on a space. That should be adequate. Technically use a better split. NLTK has pretty good stuff here. There we go. What? Why is it? Just authorize to liquid. I gotta get rid of this print line here. I think I'm printing too much shit. Authorize to liquidate. No. Kill your count positions in your house and nuke your family in order to satisfy march requirements. So that means. Love to see it. Well, we found what it is. If you're just joining us here, this is a parody. They are not asking to change the terms of service to that, but if they did, you probably wouldn't know. So that would be interesting. Anyways, thank you for watching. I hope these are fun. If they're not, I'll probably switch to a more standard style of coding tutorials in the future. But yeah, thank you for watching. Cheers. Hope you find your Ballmer's peak. And maybe on Ballmer's peak you can go skiing and you can invent a new equation like Schrodinger. All right.